This is Steve Goodall. Today I wanted to talk to you about by far the biggest problem that I deal with whenever I speak with a business, and it's they're wanting to increase their profits. And whenever I come across a company that is needing to do that, or they're struggling, and this seems to apply more to online businesses now than offline, they do not understand and they don't know what their customer cost is. I think a lot of online businesses get suckered into this idea that free marketing is the way you build a multi-million-dollar company. It's not. The only way you're going to make money by using sort of free marketing tools is to sell somebody a course on how to use free marketing tools. It's just, and I know I'm going to get people that go, I make X amount of money every week, and I just use free advertising. Great. There's always exceptions. The majority of people, and personally, I would prefer to be able to go, I know that I can put, I can put $10, for $10, I can acquire a client and I'm going to make $20 from that. So there's $10 profit there. It's an easy equation, because now all I need to do is I could go 10 times that, and I've just increased my profits by 10 times as well, and it goes on. So this is the thing, and I come across this, just like I said, I'd say at least 80% of the ones I speak to that don't have enough profit in their business, or they're struggling with sales. They don't know what that their customer acquisition cost. And yes, I did get that word wrong on a cut that you didn't see. Once you know that, you can build out. And this is where paid advertising will outperform anything else you can ever do. And, and I get it. I had terrible experiences with Google AdWords. Sort of a few years back, it was just basically a money pit. It's not something that you can just throw money into and it works. You have two options. You either learn it yourself and you do trial and error and you work out your target market, or you pay a company to do it. And once you know, and I was dealing with somebody just the other night, and they wanted to grow their business and they had no idea how much they pay. They know how much they spend in advertising, but they are not tracking where any of their clients are coming from. So they have no idea which channel is working. And then you have to go through that pain process, because what you have to do then is go, okay, we're going to put tracking in on this channel and we're going to figure out whether or not you're getting any conversions. And people still see marketing as this kind of just weird kind of, sort of magical box that just takes money from your business and you have no idea whether it works or not. And I think it's because we got so used to sales pitches from radio people and television people, where I had a friend of mine who did he got roped into a 12-month radio advertising contract, and it cost tens of thousands of dollars to run this campaign. They were written in for the whole month, for the whole 12 months. Zero customers came as a result from that marketing. And the reason I know this is because when I asked them, how are you tracking this? They said, well, we were just expecting an increase in business. And I said, well, did you get an increase? Well, yeah. Okay. Did it come from radio? I don't know. And this is the problem. So I think so many businesses got used to the idea of, radio advertising, do that. It reaches so many people. If you've got a product that's aimed at a specific group and you're advertising to everybody, you are just throwing money away. And I think, this is the problem when you get into paid advertising. People, kind of apply that mentality to paid advertising, where they go, okay, well, I want to hit everybody in the United States between the ages of 18 and 64 because everybody will want to buy my product. No, there's no point. You need to figure out who your customer is. You need to know their age range, and you need to get it right down to a specific range. And then once you get, say your ideal customer is, I don't know, 35-year-old woman. Go 5 year, your advertising, take the 35-year-old woman and go 5 years either side, and that's the market you start with. And right there, that's the market you aim at. You find out what your customers are into. And one of the best bits of advice that I can give out here is don't look for necessarily what they're into from a point of view of you buying, of them buying your product. So a company I was working with last year, it was one guy, okay? And it was t-shirts, and he was struggling to kind of get anywhere, and he had wasted so much money on paid advertising. I was having a look at where he was aiming, and it was just ineffective. I mean, he was getting clicks to his website for like $1, but I mean they weren't converting. I mean, his conversion was absolutely horrendous. When you're trying to sell, a $20 t-shirt and you're paying $1 a click, and your profit margin is like $7. You can imagine if you're not selling a t-shirt once every 7 clicks, you're in problems. He was taking 300, 400, 500 clicks to sell one t-shirt. Wasn't working, he gave up. Here's what happened. We looked into who his customers were, and we started to find a common trait. It wasn't all of them, but it was enough, and they were all huge fans of The Walking Dead. And so he completely retargeted his campaign to aim specifically. The type of shirt he was doing had nothing to do with zombies, funny enough, and that was the weird part about it. But his ideal customer was this Walking Dead fan. And as he started to expand, and his cost per click dropped, his conversions just all of a sudden went through the roof. And what he started to notice is that he could increase the age group, because the one uniting factor, for whatever reason, people that liked The Walking Dead seemed to like his t-shirts. And that fixed it. So he'd been using paid advertising, but it wasn't working for him because he didn't understand his customer. So when you're looking at who your customer is, you don't want to just go, oh, it's, my customer is a 35-year-old woman, and I don't know, she likes sort of keep fit or something like that. That's not enough. You need to find out what they actually like doing. What kind of TV habits, and what kind of things that they'll look for online, and so forth. You can use Facebook Insights to get a lot of information about stuff like that, and that's a very, very good tool to use. Once you figure out, and it's not going to be all your customers, but you will find if you've had anything more than, I don't know, 50 sales, if you've had any more than 50 sales, and I'm on about an existing business, you'll be able to come up with what your ideal client is, and you'll find a common thread, and you keep digging. That research area is not costing you anything because you're doing it on your time, okay? Put the effort in there. That's how you then turn paid marketing into something that's going to work for you. So if you're going to be using paid advertising, if you're going to use Facebook, you want to do the age groups in groups of 10. Don't set an 18 to 65 age group to try and market to. If you've never done any paid advertising before and you haven't got any sales, you're going to start this way. You're going to go 18 to 65. You're going to see who is responding to your ads. From there, that's when you narrow down the audience. If you've already got an existing business going, you need to look at who your core demographic is, and that's when you start putting the work in. Because if you got paid advertising currently and it's not working, that's the issue. Okay, once you figure out that client, because if you've got people buying from your website, I'm going to assume that your website is already okay and good for converting. But that's really what I think is the thing that's lacking the most. I think we fall in love with our products, and we think everybody wants to buy it. In reality, you cannot market to everybody. And there's so many examples of it. And I always say the same thing. If you want to know how to do something successful, look at the companies that are successful. I mean, you look at companies like Apple. Apple do not market to everybody. Okay, they market to a core demographic, and from there it spreads out. So take away from this one, really understand your customer and understand if you're using paid advertising currently, find out how much it is costing you to acquire a customer, and then also look at how much it realistically needs to cost you. Because if you've got a $20 t-shirt, right, and you're making $10 from that, okay, because 10 bucks is, the other 10 bucks is, whatever, making it or whatever, you've got $10 there, which means what maximum you want to be spending is about $5 to acquire a customer to make $5. That gives you a starting point. If your product's $100, you've got to work out what your profit margin is and what you can spend on it. So I'll catch you on another one next time.